Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to the Adventure Incorporated podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Anthony Reed. This is episode 104, Undercover. Adventure March is over. It has been an exciting month for us, and we are so happy for everyone who came out to participate. If you missed it, the Year 2 recap was posted this past Thursday. Mostly that's for new listeners to start jumping on right here at the Year 3 mark, but a lot happened in Year 2, so it's a good way to remind yourself of everything that went down. I want to give one more huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for an Adventure March. It was so much fun for us to see you guys interacting, reaching out to us, coming to watch the live streams, sending us art pieces. All of it was so much fun, and we could not be happier with how it turned out. If you have good ideas of what we should do for Adventure March next year, reach out and we'll see what we can do. Finally, we have a lot of big plans with this show, and to make those plans happen, we've opened up a new avenue for you, our listeners, to support us in our future endeavors. We've started a Patreon over at patreon.com/adventureinc. That's patreon.com/adventureinc. If you're not familiar with Patreon, we ask that our listeners who get value out of the show and have a little extra to kick in, throw some money our way. The show will always be free. Everything that's at the Patreon is a bonus above and beyond for people who can spare the money to donate. We have short stories, bonus one-shot episodes in the universe, but not directly related to the main plot. We have playable D&D content for you to take home to your own games, and even a couple of slots to play a monthly game with me as the Dungeon Master. And we also have a number of goals. We would love to turn this show into a live stream format that also comes out in podcast. We can't do that without your support. So head on over to patreon.com/adventureinc. And if you have a little extra money to kick in, throw it our way. And if you don't, you can always spread the word by sharing the link on social media. Again, the show will always be free for our listeners. That's very important to me. This is a way for you to help contribute to continue to grow the show and make it bigger and better. That's all this week. Let's get started.
Previously on Adventure Incorporated.
I don't know, man. We just gotta keep moving. That's the only thing I can remember right now. Just keep moving.
So like dagger or new ley line?
Let's put it in a hat.
13. Keth's dad.
Yeah!
Everything good happens for Keth.
I love you guys.
I'm gonna roll it.
And as you begin to gather around, you notice that Keth is missing. Dear Many Pennies, I apologize, but I have taken Keth for a little while for a little mission I need his help on. Love, Klug. Nobles and farmers, knights and wenches, gather round to hear a tale of excitement and mystery. Brave adventurers facing grave dangers. Keth, the fighter monk.
Guys, there's a lot of puppy in this cloak. I needed to say it.
What?
Genevera, the sorcerer.
Genevera, you're sitting there next to Clyde, who just goes, "What the fuck?"
I hold up my hand for a high five.
Gebetto, the rogue.
As soon as they see the five of you, their expression hardens.
Well, we'll see you later. And Gebetto just turns.
Gillick, the paladin warlock.
But you're dying again, right? Like, you die, then you get a spirit.
And you're nothing.
And then
you become nothing.
And then you're nothing. That sounds like bullshit. Let's go kill the Death Lord.
And Asher, the druid barbarian.
Yeah, but I'm asking specifically why Jeff is important to Asher.
It's just the first name. You know what? I don't have to justify this.
Prepare yourselves, for this is the tale of Adventure Incorporated. So, let's get started. Keth, you are awoken in the middle of the night by a knock at your door. A loud, heavy knock.
Keth bolts straight up and just kind of looks around first. It wasn't sure what that was. And then slowly realizes it's probably a knock at the door. So he gets up, grabs one of his clubs, and approaches the door. And, like, is there a peephole or...
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've probably... Do you think that's a safety... Like, I guess most bedrooms don't have peepholes, but is that something you think
That's
Keth
true.
would do?
No, not in Adventure Inc. So,
sure.
No, he's just like, who is it? Like,
It's
a little
me.
upset.
It's me, Keth. I need to talk to you.
Klug?
Yeah.
He just opens the door. Hey, what's going on? It's the middle of the night.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Sorry about that. I don't really sleep anymore, so I sometimes forget. Anyway, not important. I've got a mission I need your help on.
All right, man. Come in. What's going on?
He comes in and he shuts the door behind him, and he says,
This is sort of sensitive, and I think you're the only person I can come to talk to about this. It's not that I don't trust the other many pennies, it's just that I don't think they'd fully understand what we're dealing with.
Huh.
I try my best to keep up with the family, right? Some of the other half-orcs that I'm related to. And I've been hearing whispers lately.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked too much about where you came from. So, but yeah, whatever you need help with, I'm your man.
According to my family, a lot of half-orcs are going missing.
Huh.
And simultaneously, it seems, there are some places in the forest near Bradmont and Carapath where travelers are getting sort of besieged by groups of half-orc bandits. Now, I can't prove they're related, but, sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire.
Right. Taken.
Like, I'm talking about kids who... there's none of these kids are running away. They're not disappearing on their own. They're just here one day, they vanish the next.
What are you thinking? What do you think is going on?
I don't fully know, but I suspect I'm worried that someone is trying to use us.
I wonder. I mean, anything goes wrong. I'm always thinking Gorm. He recruited the lizard folk, the gnolls.
It's certainly a possibility that I've thought about.
And an army of orcs. That's not something that I want him to have.
It would be dangerous, at the least.
Yeah. Are there any reports of cloaked figures with these groups of half-orcs that are or orcs that are abducting people?
Nothing that I've heard, but like I said, information is scarce on this. I'm just hearing whisperings about the kids disappearing, and I think we need to poke around where these assaults are happening and see if we can find something out.
For sure. And these are younger orcs, not fully grown. Or
most of the ones who have disappeared, yeah, they're younger orcs and half-orcs, both.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's something that I want to know more about. Do you have a lead or just kind of like a location where you want to go check out?
There's a location I want to go check out, and I think that the best way that we could do it is to leave now with a cart. And then we can get there by about daybreak, and we should be a pretty easy picking target.
Yeah, I mean, a smaller group we'd be able to sneak in there, hopefully, and find out more information. Maybe come back if there's too much for us to handle. But
I can hide in the cart, and then they'll never see me coming. And then you look like a lonely merchant on the road. You, even as a half-orc, would appear to be easy pickings, I would think.
That is true.
And if there's something else going on, maybe you'd also be a target for that. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, no, that sounds like a great plan. Incredibly dangerous, but yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. What was it? Asher recently got killed, right? He ran off and did his own thing?
Yeah, he was a dead thing, and now, as a secondary consequence, if I die, I'm dead. Like, I just go straight to the underworld and soul consumed and just, all that stuff.
Okay. Well, I meant more importantly, like, he didn't leave a note, right? So we should probably leave a note. You got any, like, pen and paper? Ink?
Keth ruffles around. He finds some, and he jots a note down.
Klug's like, I got this. He quickly scrawls out a note, and then, like, slaps it on the door, and he says, that way it's probably just better if it comes from me in this case, so they know who to blame. Let's get out of here.
All right. Keth grabs his gear, his cloak, the Redeemers, and he follows Klug.
Okay. Klug and you head down to the stables. You find a small cart loaded up with maybe just some hay from the stables, so that you look like a farm merchant kind of, and he sort of tucks himself in, so you guys can still talk on the way, but that he's sort of out of the way.
So, buddy, really, you never sleep anymore?
Sometimes I just don't move for a while. I'm sort of like, I guess, resting mentally, but my body doesn't get tired.
Huh.
And I don't have a brain to get tired. Like, I'm just me, just this essence of me. And my essence never really gets tired or needs to sleep.
Yeah. Well, you must not have slept much when you before this body either.
I see.
Get it? Elbows the Iron Giant. No, man. I feel like there would just be so much to do. I like, if you never slept, like, that's so much extra time. Are you like learning? I don't know, Elvish?
I don't really have any interest in that. And certainly not yet. Most of my time so far has been just trying to acclimate to this body.
Yeah. You work out some of the kinks? I kicked your butt pretty handily the last time.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. We'll see. I do have a lot of extra practice time. But it's an odd sensation. After I don't have to sleep, and I don't sleep, but after a certain amount of time, it feels wrong to not stop and rest.
Yeah.
I still become weary.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'm not tired, and I'm not, if I don't need to sleep, I still feel that feeling of being run down, almost.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's real or if it's imagined.
Could be, yeah. You are just so used to the idea of sleeping that you're just like, this seems right. But interesting. I enjoyed sleeping, but staying awake has its perks. I don't know. Cool.
So as when he gets in the cart, it like sags under his weight a little bit, But you manage to, hitch it all up to a horse, and it drags you guys off from the compound through the night.
Oh, damn, I really hope we don't have any hills here. from A to B.
So you guys have been traveling now for a few hours. Do you have any other things you want to talk to Klug about?
Have I informed Klug of the vision? I don't think we've had a formal conversation about like me seeing my dad taken by the cloaks. I definitely want to talk. Is that correct?
Probably not. I would be surprised.
Right. So, Klug, as soon as you said something about this, the stuff that's going on with the orcs and half-orcs, made me think of this vision that I had when I was in a divination ley line. I saw several things, but one of which was my dad. He was fighting off something or some people, and then the people he was fighting was shot, and these cloaked figures came out of the woods and basically recruited him, like said, "You're with us now," or something along those lines. I wonder if this is connected. I wish I could remember more details about these cloaked figures, but I just got a flash. It was a quick vision. That's why I asked about the like culty people.
Yes. I see why you would ask that. I don't know. It certainly could be related.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. But regardless, whoever recruited him, I'm gonna find that asshole someday.
How are things going with the many pennies? You guys have had some weird stuff happen.
Yeah, we I think that we are as tight as ever as far as we're going through so much together that we have this unbreakable bond. Individually, we all have our own shit. Like Asher, like you said, just died, so he's had to deal with that. Now he looks like a completely different person. Gebetto, his father dying, and he's had this entire stress of all these the gnomes being taken and used, and he feels like he's partially to blame. And Gillick, I'm worried about him, man. He's got so much going on in his head. He's basically seems attached to these different divinities, Shadow Lord, Iora. He just can't get his head straight, and he's changing. Have you seen that in him?
I mean, I don't see him as much as you guys do, but there's certainly been some differences.
Yeah. No, I feel like he's cracking under all the pressure. We're trying to, take some of the burden off of him, but there's only so much we can do. I'm honestly keeping an eye on him. Another vision, or I should say wisdom, not vision. He told me somebody who is close to me is going to betray me, and I'm really starting to think it's going to be him, even if it's not willful.
That's a tough situation to be in.
Yeah, I wish he was more specific, but does wisdom tend to be super vague like that?
Yeah. Balance. I imagine Balance is the one who told you this.
Balance, yes.
Yep. Yeah. That's his way. He has a lot of foresight. But, here's the thing about Balance. He has a lot of foresight, but he can't see the future.
I did not know that.
He reads people well. And he, more often than not, he's right. Way more often than not. And if he sees that, it's important to heed it, because he could be right.
Yeah.
And in fact, he's probably right. But it's not a guarantee. He's not perfect. He has no future vision. He just has his best guess like you or I.
I mean, there's so much happening, and so much of it is out of our control, so I'm trying to keep these guys close, but it's tough to fully trust them when, I had balance tell me these things. But they don't...
If you think you're going to... Let's say they were to betray you. Yeah, let's say one of them was, turned on you. Do you think you knowing it would better prepare you? I mean, knowing what you know now, that one might betray you, right? You don't know when, you don't know where, and you don't know who. Do you think being guarded protects you better than just ignoring it? The answer can be yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm trying to think of, no, yeah, absolutely. I think that I want to know, and if I know, I'm hoping, because I've already seen and know that the future can change. So if I knew it was Gillick, I would do something about it.
Well, then, I mean, I guess if you think your preparation will help you, then you have to assume that what Balance says is true, right? Just so that, because you can't be sure that it's not.
Right. Yeah.
But you can't be sure that your interaction with anyone won't go that way.
That's fair. It's just I don't know. I'm just strongly leaning towards that guy. As much as it kills me, because we're pretty tight.
I understand that.
Yeah. I'm just keeping an eye out.
The darkness that Gillick carries with him is similar to the darkness that Viltroth was carrying. Viltroth and I, we weren't super close, but it's hard because you want to see the person, but there's so much connected darkness beyond them.
And I wonder if there's going to come a point where that person is lost and the darkness is just going to be the majority of him.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough position to be in. Good luck.
Appreciate you. Can we talk about our plan for putting me out as bait?
My plan right now is get ambushed, figure out what's going on, get information. I think it's probably for the best if we try not to kill anyone until we know what's going on.
Finally, someone who agrees with me. I feel like we've had this conversation many times with the many pennies, and it just has not panned out. But,
I'm not saying it's going to pan out here either. I'm just saying that we should try.
All right. We'll try. You also try. Okay.
I'm going to do my best.
Yeah, maybe like tone it down to 75%. With those new robot arms.
As the sun starts to peak up in the sky, and you sort of the daybreak begins. You have been traveling for a while, and the forest is to your left. You are still in Carapath on your way to Bradmont, but you're sort of skirting around the outskirts of this forest. Klug says to you, this is the forest, so keep your guard up.
All right. Keth's just looking around. Does he recognize it? Is it from his past? Yeah.
This forest is part of this forest is the area you grew up in. This forest is you're like not on the same part of it. You're from sort of the northwest end of it, and this is the southeast side. But the not only where your mother was, but the village where you were raised by your more or less your stepfather, or I guess
adopted father.
Adopted father. That's the word. All right. So after probably another 25 minutes of travel or so around this forest, I imagine that you've taken the proper precautions here.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you're wearing your helm.
Absolutely. I'm wearing my helm, and I'm telling Klug about, I grew up, I've been in these woods many times. There was this cave I used to love to go to. It was my play cave.
You hear a snap of a twig in the woods.
As I stop mid-sentence and say, I think I hear something.
He sits silently. It's weird when Klug's not talking, because the armor sort of just sits perfectly still. It doesn't, like a human, they breathe, they move, they twitch slightly. This thing just sits perfectly still behind you. But he's not talking, but you suspect he's there and he's listening. You hear another sort of snap of a twig far off, and you hear the drawing of bowstrings.
Klug, there's some archers out there. How is the cart set up? Is it? I assume it's closed because we're hiding Klug. I want to be visible.
So I pictured it as sort of a small open cart.
Okay.
He's sort of buried under hay.
Oh, okay. So he's
and you are in the front of this sort of small open cart, probably just like a 2-wheel job. And then one horse sort of attached out front.
Poor horse.
Klug's hollow. It's fine.
All right. I guess this is. I just picture him as a huge, monstrous piece of metal.
He's probably just like, I think he's a little bit taller than you, like 8 feet.
8 feet of hollow metal is still heavy. All right, but maybe it's magic. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so I'm kind of trying to act nonchalant, but I'm listening real hard.
Okay.
But I don't stop. I just keep going at the same pace that we were going, and I start whistling nonchalantly.
Okay. You hear like sort of some faint whispers. They're hard to sort of make out, but you hear them off in the distance, and then 2 arrows fly out and sink into the neck of your horse.
Ah!
And the horse drops to the side, just sort of hangs against the axle.
Oh shit! This poor fucking horse. He's had a really rough day. I'm just gonna jump off of the cart, and do I see any sort of cover on the right side of the road?
No, it's actually pretty open. It heads off into sort of an open field area. You recognize that you're actually not too far off from where you fought those earth elementals.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sort of like sprawling plains as you switch over from the swampy carapath to the more sort of hilly and flat, Bradmont.
All right. I jump off of the cart and kind of hide behind this dead horse. And I say, "Stop! Please don't shoot! Please."
4 half-orcs come walking out of the forest with an orc behind them. They, 3 of them have bows drawn. 2 of them have giant axes. Look like 2-handed axes. The orc has a 2-handed axe as well. The orc sort of shouts out to you. He says, "Get out from under there and lay on the ground."
Oh, my brother, he stays behind the horse. My brothers, I really wish you hadn't done that. If you could have just come out, we could have talked. I'm just trying to transport this.
We are taking the cart and we're taking your money, and if you're lucky, we won't take your life.
Okay. I don't want any trouble. I stand up, slowly starting walking towards them. I want to get close to them, but like I'm looking very non-threatening.
Sure. The half-orc kind of look at the orc, who sort of pushes his way forward. And as you sort of get closer, looking non-threatening, he says,
"What's your name?"
I'm Caden is my name. I'm just trying to travel through here. I live not too far down the road here, and I've traveled this road many times. I haven't seen you. What are your names?
Caden, did you grow up with orcs or humans?
I grew up with orcs, and my village was slaughtered. And when I was a child, I wandered and kind of made my way over the last 30 years. So grew up with them, but not for too long.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're looking to get revenge for all the atrocities that have been done to you, I got a place we can go.
Oh, well, I'm not much of a fighter, but what do you mean? I mean, yeah, these humans, they're awful, but
you're not much of a fighter. What are you?
I'm a merchant. I sell, I do odd jobs, sell goods. I try and stay in shape. I work out.
We got need of supplies, so we could always use a merchant.
Oh, okay. But what do you mean get revenge? Like, are you like, it's just you guys? You guys are just kind of a band?
They all sort of chuckle. He looks to some of the half-orcs. He says,
"Riggs, Herkin, go get the cart."
Keth just continues to talk. He's slowly walking towards them. So, I mean, tell me more. You piqued my interest. I haven't seen too many of my brothers recently. Tell me more.
We've tried to find a way to protect ourselves. Too often when we are out in the public, we wind up getting persecuted. So we've banded together. And he's sort of like, you guys are walking through the forest. He says, "If you want to be one of us, there might be room for you. We'll see what the leader says."
Leader? You're not the leader?
No, I am just a faithful servant, looking to use my skills to help my brothers the best way I can.
Oh.
They all sort of chuckle.
I chuckle too. So it's just us. It's a group of our brothers and us against the world. Nobody else.
Us against the world.
I like that. Where am I in relation to both the leader and everyone? at this point?
You're sort of, I think, probably they've made a triangle around you. Right, because the leader's in front, and then the two that were still there sort of have moved to the either side. They've sort of led you away from the cart, and the cart is being hooked. Like the guys are unhooking the horse and like attaching themselves to the cart, but it's far enough back behind you now that you don't even see it anymore.
Oh, so I was walking with the leader away from the cart, so. Okay, so I hopped off the cart and walked towards them. They like went past me, and you know what I mean. Like I was trying to just basically get close to them to potentially.
No, they sort of like they made it clear that if you wanted to continue the conversation, you were going to follow them,
right?
And then they sort of flanked you.
Okay. Leader 3. Keth's doing math in his head. He probably has like a strange, like, pained look on his face right now. And he's debating if he wants to just throw down right here and get more information the old-fashioned way, or allow them to bring us back to their camp. He's gonna go for option B.
Okay.
So and he hopes that Klug will not just jump out of the cart and start murdering, but that will make Keth's decision real easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you head to the the encampment with the guys. As they travel through the woods, do you have other questions for them?
So this thing you guys got going on, what are you trying to do? Like, it just kind of here and there, we're just ambushing people on the road, or are we kind of, is there a bigger goal that we're trying to shoot for? Because I feel like we got a good thing going. We shouldn't just do the small things.
One of the half-orcs sort of speaks up. He says, "This is just our role right now, right here. We're getting supplies, getting built up. There's big stuff on the horizon, though."
Oh wow! Great. No, that's good. I'm glad there's a long-term thing here, because these humans, they've been looking down on us forever, and
it's not just the humans, the elves, the dwarves, the gnomes, all of them.
Oh yeah, those gnomes. And Keth spits on the ground.
Make a persuasion check.
Well, I actually assumed we weren't going to use dice, so I didn't even take any out. Rolled a 13. And Keth is real not charismatic. So a 12.
Okay. The other half-orc that you said that you, like, he said gnomes, you were like, "Oh yeah, gnomes," and you spit, and he was like, "Yeah," and he spits.
Nice.
The orc says, "All right, you two, we're getting close."
Great. Can't wait to learn more. What when can I start? Like what's the deal?
That'll be up to the leader. If he thinks that you're a good fit, we'll find a place for you.
Okay. Any tips for the leader? I imagine he's a great orc.
Don't lie to him. If he finds out you're lying, He will separate your head from your body.
Well, that's graphic. I don't want that. I need the head for selling the merch. All right, let's go.
You guys pass into an encampment. It is like probably 7 or 8 fairly large tents. 3 or 4 cooking fires, a couple of small wooden structures that have been set up that look like where they sort of distribute food and things like that. Some of the orcs are off like chopping wood and gathering supplies in the nearby forest. It looks like probably 40 or so people live in this little village. Half-orcs and orcs. And a fairly even mix of the two.
Huh. So it looks like just a pretty... Does it look like a permanent settlement or kind of an encampment?
Sort of an encampment.
Okay. Do they look like they're living well, or is it kind of like ragtag? And
definitely ragtag. They're living off whatever they can sort of scavenge, and whatever they can sort of collect from the woods around.
Okay. Keth says, that was a long road out there. You guys have any beer, any ale or mead, or I'll take anything.
Yeah, we'll get you something. I think at the very least we can do that for killing your horse.
Yeah, that
and for taking
cool,
your
man.
supplies.
Well, hey, what's mine is yours. I mean, I'm just looking for things to do, and this sounds like a worthy cause.
Well, those supplies will be very helpful down at the southern encampment. So we sent them that way.
What? I left my backpack in there.
Oh, I'm sure they'll get it to us here shortly. Don't worry too much about that. We'll take care of you.
Okay. Thanks. Oh God. So southern encampment, you say? So I thought it was just us.
Here. It is. We're all one part of one big unit. We're here in the eastern encampment. There's the southern encampment, the northern encampment, the western encampment, and the much larger central encampment.
Oh, is that where the leader is, or is the leader here with us?
The leader's on his way over here now from the central encampment.
Oh. Can we just check out that southern encampment? I really just want to grab my backpack.
He starts to eye you a little bit, suspiciously.
Yeah, no, I had this delicious bread you would not believe, picked up from a couple of merchants down the way. You would love it. But no, I get it. So how about that beer?
The half-orc that spoke to you earlier brings over a sort of a small cask of beer and hands you the cask.
Excellent.
And he brings you some some brown bread and some like nuts.
Well, this bread isn't as good as what I had, but you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy. Thanks.
The orc sort of pulls another half-orc aside, and like you see them sort of talking, and then the half-orc comes over and sits near you.
Okay. Are are the Redeemers hidden well enough, or have they spotted them?
Make a sleight of hand.
Yeah, like I feel like they're ornate enough that I would have prepared, like I kind of wrapped them up in some leather just so that they look like sticks almost, but I did not verbalize that.
Sure.
12.
You've done the best you can.
Great.
You don't know for sure if they can tell or not.
Yeah. All right. So Keth is trying to look around, seeing if there's any. He kind of wants to know if this is part of a bigger sort of tie-in with Gorm, or even Dunglaris. So he's looking for magical objects. Honestly, it's anything that he would associate with something bigger than a group of orcs and half-orcs that are just beating people up.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Shit, 7.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of, all you're seeing is this encampment as sort of an encampment. You don't really see anything beyond that. In any time you sort of, like, you try to look around, you're just looking around. You don't really have a chance to get up because this guy's sort of staring you down, the one that came to sit near you.
Yeah. Okay. So where is everybody from? Is this just kind of the local group? Because you all don't look like you're from the same horde.
We're from all over. We've been recruited, you could say.
Right.
Go ahead.
How long has this been going on?
I'm not really sure. I came in about a month ago. But most of the able-bodied ones, we wind up out here on the periphery. The youngins and the women, they wind up in the central encampment. It's a lot bigger than this one. Needs a lot more hands running the place.
Right. And is each encampment kind of specialized? Like, we do one thing, the southern encampment does something else.
Where we're close to the road, we do a lot of the acquisitions.
I get it.
Southern encampment has they take care of a lot of the animals there. That's why they took your hay.
Oh. Yeah, there's some scrap metal in the back too, but maybe they can make some use of that.
Maybe. Western encampment, we try to get as much food as we can out that way. The northern encampment's really for safety. Bradmont, it's a dangerous place for our kind.
Right. All right. When, jeez, I really appreciate all this hospitality.
Yeah, no problem.
When is the leader getting here?
Should be here soon.
Right.
So you probably wait there another like 10, 15 minutes, and you see in the distance through the forest a large group of orcs and half-orcs sort of making their way through the woods.
Keth stands up, kind of ready to be mobile.
Yeah, it looks like probably about 15 orcs and half-orcs. The half-orc sitting next to you goes,
"They brought a pretty big group for this."
Why were they coming here? They weren't coming here for me. I mean, I'm a nobody.
Daily checks. Just make sure everything's going smooth.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess now's as good a time as any to introduce myself, and I walk towards that group.
He follows behind, but at sort of a safe distance. But he's not letting you go, per se. And yeah, you move toward the group. In the front of the group, you see an orc wearing like a leather mask. He's got a like dark red sort of tunic on. He's wearing leather gloves and chainmail armor, and he's wearing like sort of chain pants and big leather boots. He's sort of walking in front of the rest of the group. It seems pretty clear that if there's a leader, this is him.
Is the Undertaker there with his brother Kane?
Fair enough. I deserve that.
I mean, just the mask is the only really like the red.
Sure.
Nice.
A red tunic and a leather mask. Yeah, I'm on board. I see where you're coming from.
I say, hello there. Friends call me Kay. Very nice to meet you. I was told you're in charge.
You forgot your fucking name.
Role playing, sir. It was Caden, correct? Shit. Please let it be Caden.
Yeah, it was Caden.
Thank God. I was like, if it was like Steve, and like I was like, friends call me Kay. Great.
He says, "Do you know who I am?"
I was just told that you run this place. You guys got an interesting operation going on, and yeah, guess I'm looking to join.
Join up with us, the disciples of the Red God. You would stand in front of us and pray to the Orcish gods as they are meant to be worshipped.
I guess, I was telling them my story. I grew up for about 10 years with our kind, and then I lost touch because my horde was slaughtered, and I've been wandering, so I don't know too much about it. I want to learn more.
Roll a deception check.
I've been rolling real poorly tonight. Let's see. Oh, 5.
He says, he just sort of stares at you for a long beat. He turns back to the guys behind him, and he says,
"Go, get some food. I will talk to this one. Alone."
And he points you to like a nearby stump that's been cleared by some of the orcs that are cutting wood.
Yeah.
Sit.
Yeah, Keth, he sits down. He's always on balance. Like, he's ready to move. He's not ever kind of just putting all his weight on his, like, any one spot where he's reliant on that. So he's like still prepared.
Sure. The orc sits down across from you, and he sort of sits on the stump. He crosses his arms, and he says,
"There are stories of our people. Stories the others have forgotten. The humans and the dwarves, the elves. They don't remember the songs. They don't remember the way things were. The life giver, the one who brought memory and thought to us, who brought it to all of us, all the people, not just our kind. But he brought us something special. He gave us divinity. He gave us divinity that the others do not have. They look to their celestials, to their false gods. But there are gods in the orcs here, and we will remind them of that when we bring their blood to this soil, when we hear their screams as we tear their entrails from them. They will know the Orcish gods. They will feel our divinity."
Keth is kind of because he did not know this stuff. Like he didn't really pay much attention as a kid to any of it. He was raising the animals.
So, I mean, you were born to humans, and you were raised with half-orcs. This is not something that you ever heard Dirk talk about. Like,
okay,
this is way out there.
Yeah. Okay. Keth still probably wouldn't have paid much attention when he was a kid. just want to go hang out with the dogs. You said the red god, our gods. Did the other species basically take them on and kind of change their how they worship them, or are these completely different and just better gods?
Our gods are our gods. They are of our blood. And they are our ancestors who started our clans. The red god of the orcs is our clan father.
Huh.
The gods that the others, those weak, disgusting creatures worship. They are creatures from another place. They are not even of this world. And yet they worship them like they are some powerful being who controls their fate and destiny. But it is our blood, our family, our kin that we worship.
Wow. Keth kind of is quiet for a minute and just is thinking about all this. He never grew up feeling special. Like, he basically never thought of like the concept that like being an orc, like to be proud of being an orc or half orc, and this idea of us having our own gods and powerful and worthy of worship gods, like, you know, their nature. He's not really factoring that in right now, but he's just like feeling special. Like, that idea seems so attractive to him.
The red god spoke to me once. He told me that this world was ours to take. That it was time, once again, that we are the strongest. We were given a gift by the Whisperer, the speaker who brought thought to our ears. And that gift was our sovereignty, our divinity. We should rule all. We are strongest. He proved his divinity to me. And so I carry his words. That is what we do here. The 40 in this camp, yes. But the 600 among the other camps. We will march on this world, and we will take back what once should have been ours. We will burn their thrones. We will overthrow their governments. And we will rule this land as one united force among orc brothers.
Wow. That sounds like a lot. Like, there's, I assume you're well informed. Like, there's a lot going on out there right now, and there's this huge presence taking over. It seems like everywhere, like Ishtara, up north. Like, that is spreading and growing. Like, are we? I don't know. It just seems
there are others in this world that seek to destabilize. Their work only helps us. They weaken, they cripple, and when they finish, we will swoop in.
I wonder though, like, these kingdoms, they're they seem so much weaker than this other presence that's been honestly just easily taking over land after land after land. If this power grows, I don't know how us by ourselves, how we're going to take it back from whatever this is. Have you thought of...
Paraneth still stands against the war they face.
Barely. I've been traveling these roads. I've been traveling quite a bit, and they will fall.
They will.
But before we get there, and then this new power is going to be even stronger. Like,
this new power has fought. They have shed their power as they face against another foe. They have become weakened, and while they regroup, while they lick their wounds, they will face our blades and axes.
With all due respect, sir, they're not dwindling. They're taking over, and they're corrupting and recruiting the people that they take over. Have you allied with anybody, or is it just us? Because right now, we would not be able to face this new evil.
All good kingdoms make deals. All good kingdoms have connections. We do not need to honor those connections forever. They will get our foot in the door, and then we will strike. I tell you this because I am making you an offer, not as a brother, but as a son.
He draws the glove off his hand, and you see the X carved into the back of his hand.
I saw yours, the mark you were given.
Keth reflexively, like just touches it, basically. Like it, like always itches. It whenever he thinks of it, just touches it.
You can lie. You can lie to all of them. I know the truth. I didn't spend time in any orc villages. If you understand my meaning. You come from their world. You know it better than most. You know the oppression. The way they look at people like us. The way they treat people like us. Even if it's as a tool, as an instrument to kill, to fight. The pits of Bradmont are filled with orcish blood.
Keth just feels this welling inside of him. He was at first shocked and just like surprised, and just all of this flood of anger just fills him. He's practiced controlling himself, but he is flooded with this anger and just lunges at him.
Okay. Roll an attack.
29.
Okay.
That's what Keth really wanted to do. Nothing else. Deceive, sleight of hand, hide, nope.
You lunge forward and you wrap yourself around him. I think you knock him right off the stump.
And hug him. He succeeded.
Go ahead. Are you just like punching him? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, just pummeling, like fists. I have like no, like the gauntlets of glory are not on. I have no other like special attacks. I'm just fucking just pounding my dad.
Okay, so make a damage for the tackle. Let's say just unarmed damage for the tackle.
All right, D4 is harder to find than I thought. 6 damage.
Okay. Go ahead and make another attack.
$25.
Okay. Roll damage.
9 damage.
And go ahead and make another attack.
Yeah, 13.
Okay. Anything else you want to do this turn? And then I'll describe it.
No, I mean, like Keth is pulling down deep. Can I action surge?
Yeah. Just hit me with all the mechanical stuff, and then I'll describe what happens. That's okay. So if you're going to action surge, great. Go ahead and action surge. Roll the attack.
He'll take an extra attack.
And actually, I think you get... I've been looking into this, meaning to look into this, but for now, just take 2 extra attacks for this.
Okay, yeah, it says an attack action. Like I get an extra attack action, so I've always interpreted, yeah.
But I don't know. Extra attack may say whenever you make an attack action. I don't know how it works. It's math.
No, that's true. 26 to hit.
Hits. Roll damage.
6 damage.
Okay. Make an extra attack.
17 to hit.
That one does not hit. Okay, so basically what happens is this. You sort of just, in an instant, you probably scream out, right? I imagine.
Yeah, like in rage, absolutely. It's very, yeah.
Yeah, you yell out, you lower your shoulder and tackle into him, slam him to the ground, and you just start pummeling your fists down. You catch him in the face, he sort of like starts putting his fists up to try and block you. He blocks one hit, you slam another shot into him, he blocks you again, and then you see in his face as his eyes start to glow with red energy.
Holy shit.
And he says, You have fucked up, kid. He says, by the power of the Red God, I will fucking kill you. And he makes an attack.
Not even worried.
So, the first attack misses. You get your hand up in time. But you feel the strength in this attack as it slams into your arm. You have blocked, but it hurts. It's not good. You take 6 damage even though you blocked.
All right.
He swings at you again. This time he connects. For 28.
What is he? Does he have a gauntlet, or what does he have?
He just has these fists, but what you've noticed is that as this energy has filled him, like spikes have grown out of his fist.
Holy shit. Okay.
And so with that punch, he just slams into you and just throws you off of him, right? He like flips up over you. And he stands up and is standing over you, and he gives you a quick kick. Which you roll out of the way from. Like, you see it coming, you roll, and with your monk, like, reflexes, manage to get out of the way. Before he just shouts, like, everyone, get this guy!
Fuck. So Keth has rolled away. There's like a little bit of a reprieve, it sounds like, from like the attack from Dad.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So in that little moment, Keth regains some composure, kind of realizes the situation he's in, so he doesn't blindly go and attack his... Did he ever give me his name? I just keep calling him Dad.
We'll say that you know his name is Krusk.
Okay. Yeah, so he doesn't just blindly attack Krusk. Fuck. Do I see any livestock or horse around me?
Yeah, sort of on the edge of this encampment, there are 3 horses tied up. But you are in a wooded area, so it would be hard to sort of get them through this wooded area back to like a road.
Okay, so like 3 horses, like I would only want 1.
Sure. I mean, but like you couldn't hop on it and just charge because you're just in a forest.
Off. Okay. Fuck. Part of me thought he would appreciate it. like he would be like, "That's my boy." So all right. So I'm gonna say, "You son of a bitch! How could you?" Basically, he's just kind of like rambling, like accusing him, just like where the hell have you been? How could you? What the hell is wrong with your eyes? Like, what is this shit? You're making deals with things that you don't even know anything about. And he's honestly trying to get him to talk.
Okay. Yeah, he says, "The Red God has shown me the path. And if you will not turn your back on these people, you will die like them. We will spill your blood on the ground as a first sacrifice in our war, because it will begin today." You are weak. There is too much human in you, too much of their puny, pale flesh in you. You spend your time thinking and talking instead of doing. We will change that. This world will bow before us. He turns on you again.
Okay.
Once again, you've had a second to prepare yourself. You try to defend yourself from the attack as it comes in. You take 9 damage as you defend yourself against him.
Block. Ow.
Yeah. Another big swing comes in. This one catches you for 30 damage as he slams this fist into your gut, and you feel the claws like rip into your flesh of your stomach. Are you unconscious?
Shit. No, I have 5. Okay. Okay. So I just look up at him like I'm like coughing blood at this point. I just say, "You have no idea what I've become. I can never be under your command, but what you are building here, I want in. But I will never follow your orders."
He stops. Is that a deception or is it a persuasion? What are you doing?
That is a Jesus. Like he's grasping at straws here. He is trying to not die and also to prolong his life.
Okay, so he's not legitimately interested in taking a war against the rest of the races of the world.
Correct. Yeah. So
okay.
Deception. I guess.
So deception. Yeah.
Fuck you. I gotta get new dice, man. Just new dice. 6 to deceive my daddy.
He just shakes his head. "You're pathetic." And he just kicks you, like I imagine you're sort of doubled over from the massive hit to the gut. He just like knees you in the head and drops you to the ground. In your last moments of consciousness, you hear him say like, "Get this trash out of here." And then just one more swift kick to the head. And everything goes black.
Shit. That's my dad.
You are sitting on a wooden stump, just like the one you were just on, but it's black all around you here.
Keth kind of looks down and sees. Like, is he wearing the same thing he was when he fell asleep? Like, does he?
Yeah, like when you got knocked unconscious. Yeah, you're wearing the same thing.
Okay. Does he look injured?
No, you look perfectly fine.
Okay.
And there's nothing around. Like, there aren't trees around this time. It's just blackness and this stump.
He's had some weird in his head things, so he basically just takes a breath and questions balance. before hearing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. So before, you just go ahead, do it again.
So Keth has had some of these in his head sort of adventures before. So what he does is he just takes a big deep breath and asks out to the oblivion, balance?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this seemed like a you thing.
Balance steps into the out of the darkness. And another stump is in front of you, as it just was a few moments ago. And Balance sits on the stump, crosses his legs, and closes his eyes, and he takes a breath.
Balance, I really don't have time for this right now. My fucking dad is... I found him, and I need to get back there. Like...
Keth, you are in no shape to get back there.
I just need one more good hit.
Hey.
He sucker punched me.
You need to focus. Use that chi to keep yourself alive. They think they have beaten you, that they have tossed you aside. All you must do now is survive. That is how you will win this. That is how you beat them. Breathe.
Balance. I've been searching. And he's just like kind of mumbling but trying to compose himself. He takes a big long breath. And then another.
Tell me, Keth, why have you searched for this man?
He's a monster.
Perhaps.
What he did to my mother and so many others. He's caused so much harm and so much evil in this world.
Do you think
he
if you...
doesn't...
Go ahead, sorry.
No, he doesn't deserve to live.
Do you think if you took his life from him, it would fix that?
I mean, the damage is done, but I could stop him. I could stop him from doing anything else. He's got this new power. I thought he was just an orc, but he's so strong.
Yes. He seems quite strong. He has tapped into something ancient, something powerful. The magic is strange. It is like the Fae.
I saw a vision of him being recruited, it seemed, by these figures in cloaks. I don't know what, even if they were orcs or what, but I assume it has something to do with that. And he said he had tapped into the old orc gods, the red god.
I do not know much about the culture of the orcs, but it is known to me that they have a religion. Perhaps this religion is what he has tied into. As for the figures, I fear there are many things in this world trying to destabilize it, trying to make it crack, show its weakness.
Yeah, I lost my cool. I was trying to reason with him and show him that basically aligning with others against Gorm, he would get exactly what he wanted. But I lost it when he showed me his scar.
I do not think he will ever get what he wants. I do not think he knows what he wants. I think even if he got what he says he wants, he would never feel fulfillment. There is a path for you, Keth. It is different than his. You are not him. There may be some of him in you, but you are not him.
What he was saying about the orc gods, just it rang true to a part of me that we are unique and special, and I didn't even know we had our own gods, but it makes sense. And I considered it for a long moment.
Perhaps that is a thing that you must learn more about. If there is something in this that calls to you, it is worth exploring, even if it can be scary.
Yeah, and like the fact that we are looked down upon so much in this world, we shouldn't. We should at least be equals. And yeah.
Do you know of the first war that happened between the peoples of this world?
Keth takes another deep breath. He's like, of course he doesn't. But he says, I might have heard something about that, but what do you know?
This is a very, very, very old story. One that is lost to most histories, I would think. When the races of this world came to be, it was the orcs' aggression that first brought the war against the people here. It was their lust for power, their frenzy of killing, that united the other races, that brought them to a common purpose. It was all against one. It is why orcs today have no place in this society. Half-orcs, yes, as it was the humans' purview to create species a half step away from them. And so by extension, those species have a place in our society. Sort of, as I'm sure you felt. For there is always in you a piece of orc, and whether the people here know it or not, they are responding to primal instinct.
I mean, maybe that happened so long ago, but is the spirit of the orc unchanged from that time?
You tell me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, my father is probably a pretty good example of both orcs back then and orcs today. So, yeah, I know the answer.
Do not trouble yourselves with such things now, Keth, for there is one thing you must worry about right now. You must live, and you must breathe. Breathe. You look up and he's gone. And then the blackness comes again. Hey adventurers, DM Anthony here again. I just want to remind you that there are lots of ways to support the show. Head on over to patreon.com/adventureinc. Tell your friends about the show. Rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Links and more can be found at adventureinc.podbean.com. Thanks everyone, we'll see you next week.
So I've started doing a thing now where instead of a next time on, I just take some of the discussion from before or after or during a break and put that in there instead. Just like some random thing that we normally would have cut that's like hilarious and stupid and probably us making fun of someone like Rob.
Yeah, just every time it's just making fun of Rob. We get it, you're dead. Ugh.